Dedicated, greatness around, every heart elated. Mentors guiding, streets filled with dreams. Planting seeds, yo, you know what it means. Volunteer vibes, energy unmatched. Building our empire, every goal attached. Young ladies aspiring, greatness in their veins. Breaking every barrier, shaking off the chains. Service in their spirit.
Hi, my name's Aaliyah.
My name is Blake.
And my name is Shania, and we are YLAG, working in the communities in hopes to make a difference. And today we are here with
Shenise Turner-Sloss, currently serving as a Dayton City Commissioner and running for mayor.
So, Ms. Shenise, to open up the floor, I just wanted to ask, we know, how hard you work to be on the commissioner position. And with that being said, why do you continue to run for mayor knowing, what all is at stake?
Well, that is a great question. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to YLAG. You ladies are doing an excellent job. You have always shown up in various different spaces. I am so proud of you all. I know YLAG is, over 10 years strong, doing some great work in the community.
Well, wait, ain't it 11 years now? Yeah. 11 years
11 years, yeah. Over 10 years, yes. Very good.
Thank you.
We've seen the young ladies transition through the program, off to do great things. Many of them are now studying in their undergrad studies and doing great things in the community, also contributing to the workforce and being productive members of society, which I know is a value and a priority for YLAG overall.
Yes.
So shout out to Ms. Sherelle and all the great works that she's doing.
Yes, of course, always shout out to Ms. Sherelle.
Yes. So into the question, again, and you ladies, thank you for even having an interest and wanting to talk to me. So this is a very fluid conversation. As mentioned, this is kitchen table talk or on the couch or relaxing while we were Netflixing. So this is a break, okay? Yes. So with that being said, so you're absolutely right. Running for office is no easy feat. It takes a lot of perseverance. It takes a lot of grit, a lot of rejection. And then especially being a black woman and being someone who is, in fact, I consider myself, I'm still young, even though I'm seasoned, but I'm still young. And so with that, you just have to develop broad shoulders, if you will. My mom used to always tell me growing up that you have to learn how to be a duck in water. And I used to be like, what is she talking about? Meaning you're going to have to learn, certain things roll off your back. And you just have to keep focused, stay prayerfully focused, and know that you are here for a reason. You have a purpose. And it is my belief that we all have gifts and talents. And how we utilize those gifts and talents is, my pastor always says, through our heart, our mind, and our hands. And so utilizing those gifts to service others. And that's what our purpose is about, whether it is, in fact, running a youth program or being a teacher or a janitor or, someone who works in broadcasting. It's all about serving people. And so that's why I have always been a supporter of YLAG because of the work that you all do and knowing the true intentions that you all have in the community. So you're right, it took me 3 times to become sitting commissioner. And each time I learned something different. I learned something different about myself. I learned something different about what it takes in terms of really wanting something and knowing in your heart of hearts that this is something that God has called you to do. And so I share that with you ladies. So if whatever it is that you have in your heart, go for it. Don't let anyone tell you no. Don't let anyone stop you. You continue to stay on that path and stay focused, stay prayerfully focused, and write that thing down. Write it down, make it plain. Vision boards they're real. And you have to make sure that you have individuals around you to keep you inspired, to keep you uplifted as you matriculate through that journey or whatever that endeavor may be that you have your heart set out to accomplish. And so the reason why I decided to run for mayor, to get back to your question, for a number of reasons. One, I believe in passing the torch. I believe that that's why, when we look at the civil rights generation, that's what they were able to do, to pass the torch, to make things better for the next generation, And that's what my candidacy speaks to, is passing the baton to the next generation. I could have sat in the seat as a second-term commissioner. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that for, again, I believe in passing the baton. I believe that you have to allow others the ability to serve and providing those opportunities for others. And again, when you sit in certain seats, in my opinion, for a long period of time, anything that you do, you become stale, if you will. You become stagnant. And so my candidate speaks to ushering in a new generation of problem solvers, a new generation of leadership. And no slight, no shade to anyone, but it's time for us to look towards visionary leadership that's willing to do the work. I'll tell you this quick story. So we have our literature, whatever have you, and so literature is basically like cards that you pass out to give information, voters, more information about your candidacy, right? To lay out your platform, to give the voting dates, whatever have you, your website, all of the particulars. And so I went to service one day, church service, and a lady had came up to me, and this was after service, of course, she came up to me, she said, I just wanted to share with you, my daughter, she saw your picture on the card that you passed to us, and she said, that's me. That's the purpose. I was so moved. I was in the church crying.
I would have cried.
Yes, I was, exactly, because, and I was humbled, and I just wanted to reaffirm to her that that's why I'm doing this work, because you all could be the next commissioner or the next CEO or the business leaders in a community or whatever that space may be that you have your heart's desire to accomplish. That's what we need to see, people that look like us. We need to see that and be in those places that you can, in fact, relate to one another. And so that's why I'm doing the work, because I want to inspire others, and I want others to see what they see in me as they can see in themselves.
So once you become mayor, what are some opportunities are you going to give the schools or opportunities to give to the kids?
That's a great question. Great question. So I am a mother. I am a wife. I'm a mother of 3. I have a 14-year-old who is in high school. I'm a product of Dayton Public School. I believe in Dayton Public Schools. I can recall I attended Fairview Elementary, Fairview Middle School, and I had teachers like Linda Lawson and Mr. Craig Holloway, and our principal, Mr. Griffin. All of these various different teachers and administrators, they had an impact on my life, and I attribute to where I am now because of them, because they made that sacrifice. So one of the things that I would like to do, and I have been an advocate and a champion for quite some time, is to make sure that we are exposing our students to various different opportunities. I am in awe at the work that's being done with Dayton Public Schools right now. They don't get enough credit. The Pathways program that they have online, the CTC schools that they have online with Meadowdale and Ponitz. I'm a graduate of Patterson, which is now Ponitz. My study was my vocational study was radio television. So this is all familiar to me. And we had a lot of great work. Ms. Pistic and Mr. Reeves, all of these various different people were a part of my life. And I think it's important that we expose our students to those opportunities. And so having a partnership with the city of Dayton, with the school district, so that we can create that pipeline of that new workforce. When I worked for the city of Dayton, I worked with individuals who were retiring at 55. Like, that is young to retire. But here's the beauty in that. They started working for the city when they were like 17, 18 years old. And they're already adding years, if you will, and building their retirement up. Who doesn't want that? The benefits of being able to retire at 55. You're still young. You're still where you can have the opportunity to have a second career. So I want to expand those relationships with the county, the city, the school district, making sure that our students are in fact ready for the workforce. They need to be exposed. I want to expand YouthWorks. Shout out to our YouthWorks program with Montgomery County. They need additional funding. They need additional placement. One of the things that I was able to, that was brought rather to my attention this past summer, is that there were over 1,700 students that signed up for the youth program. But unfortunately, they only had 500 slots. So just imagine the difference that would have been made if there was a partnership with the city of Dayton and finding those placements and having the extra dollars so that we can get all 1,700 students in an opportunity for employment. So again, those are the things that I want to look at. And the other thing is too, having a listening ear. You all know what you want, right? You know what you want to see in your communities. You know what it takes. And I think that's one of the biggest things that a leader, we all are leaders, but anyone who calls himself a leader and really truly want to be a public servant and serving with altruistic, the goals and being very intentional about that work that they're doing, is to in fact have a listening ear and not thinking you know everything, because you don't. And there are different generations that have different needs, from our seniors to our young adults to our youth to our teenagers to our babies, right? Our babies who are in elementary school. So being able to listen and working in those spaces for all those different individuals who are part of our communities.
And it's funny that you say that too, because earlier I was doing a video for work for Omega Scala.
Oh, wonderful.
And they were, just asking me, like, why do I think Omega is just, like, a good program and all this, like, all that stuff. And I was like, well, I think that, the youth, the adults need to listen to the youth, because sometimes you need, like, a fresh pair of eyes. Like, sometimes you always have that one friend and they see everything and you might not pay attention to that at that moment. So I was like, I feel like that's what this type of aspect is. It's like the adults are kind of like that person, like, wait, I don't see it. And then the youth is like, oh, wait, like, it's right there. So it's just funny that you say that, because, like, I always say, like, sometimes, maybe I need a fresh pair of eyes. So, like, anytime a situation happens, like, I know I'll be quick to call one of my friends, my sister, something like, maybe this doesn't sound right to you, but let me ask you. Because, sometimes we do need that, like, new perspective. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's always good. And especially with everything going on in the world right now, it's just kind of like a generational thing as to passing the torch. So just, like, being able to share that knowledge, but also having the ability to know they are trusted with that knowledge. Because sometimes you can't trust all adults. So it's just like, being able to learn something, but also knowing that you taught them something, and that it's not going to go in vain. It's not going to, like, be just, you can hear, but you don't listen. So, like, it's not just going to be like, oh, like, I hear you, okay, but, they're not going to actually take the advice. So, I really appreciate that aspect as to, just that motivation, what you're trying to do.
I am smiling in awe because you ladies have promising futures. Just your interpretation and just what you share, that says a lot about you as a person and your willingness. That's about growth. So that speaks volume as to who you are, and that's wonderful, because you're absolutely right. You have to be able to take, the criticism, the feedback. That's how you grow. That's how you get better. James Baldwin, he has a quote, and I'm paraphrasing, I might mess it up, but he talks about the criticism that he has for America is because he loves America. And it's not to browbeat or to scold or to try to talk negative. It's because I want the best. I want the best for you. I want the best for our country. I want the best for our community, for our city. And I think that's commendable what you just said. Thank you very much for sharing that. And then you're absolutely right. You can't trust everyone. You can't trust all adults, or you can't trust just anyone, especially nowadays. To your point, we don't know if those intentions are really pure. Are they true, right? So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so you got into it about a little bit, but I wanted to ask, why should voters choose you instead of the other opponents running for mayor?
That's a great question. I think she hit the nail on the head. We got to get her on the trail. But it is exactly right. That's what my candidacy speaks to, along with my running mates, Commissioner Fairchild, who's running for re-election, Commissioner Darrell Fairchild. He's been a strong advocate in this community for over 40 years. Dating back to the Peace Bridge, the work that he's been able to do with the coalition of churches and the school board. The list goes on and on. He is, in fact, a true grassroots leader. I can't say enough about him. And then you have my other running mate, which is Jacob Davis, who is a practicing attorney, a small business owner. He has a young family. He's doing great work in the community. He's a graduate of UD Law School, and he's committed to the city of Dayton. And I may add that he's a former city of Dayton employee. So he's worked in this space in the city of Dayton as it relates to compliance and fair housing laws, and he knows what the needs are in our community. He's on the ground, he's doing the work, and that's why we're all running together. We coin ourselves as your neighborhood team, and I bring a unique perspective because I too am a product of Dayton, Dayton Public Schools, and I have a young family in this community. I believe in this community. This community has made me who I am. I'll tell you all this very briefly. So I graduated from Patterson, and I was like, I'm getting out of the city. I am leaving. I'm not coming back. I wanted to leave the city so bad, and I did. I left the city for a number of years. I went away to college at Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. I spent a number of years there. I came back to the city of Dayton because family, right? Family, grandparents were getting older. I honestly missed my family. And when I came back, it was like, whoa, what happened? It was like a bomb exploded in the city of Dayton because a number of things that I was so used to, mind you, I grew up in Residence Park, RP, right? And I grew up in that community. We had everything. Kroger's on Gettysburg. We had Esther's Market, which is still standing, is a staple in the community. Hoover Skating Ring. We had Kelly's Market on the corner of Elmhurst. There were so many different things that we had in our community. Residence Park, Rolfe High School was around the corner. So many different things that we had in our community. And to come back after a number of years and see the disinvestment, to see the devastation, it was heartbreaking. It was gut punching. And I knew that I wanted to get involved. I knew I had to get involved. And a friend of mine, she challenged me. She said, well, if you feel that way, get involved. I didn't know how, right? I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still on my way to Chicago, Colorado Springs, Philadelphia, D.C. I'm like, I'm leaving. I landed a job with the city of Dayton, landed a good job with the city of Dayton. I was exposed to the priority boards, which opened my eyes. If you all don't know about our world-renowned priority boards, which was a citizen participation vehicle, I mean, when I say world-renowned, people from Japan would study the model in the city of Dayton. They would travel from near and afar to come to the city of Dayton and to see this mechanism about how people were involved in local government. And I was able to learn about the priority boards and model cities, check the model cities history out as well, too. I will share that with you all. And when I got the job, learned a lot of great things about the city itself, the history. Met a wealth of individuals who had the expertise, the knowledge, the passion. The priority boards raised me, and that is where I am today, and I attribute that to where I am and running for office. And I'm just happy and proud of the work that I've been able to do. I want to continue on that path. I have the passion, I have the knowledge, the expertise, and the skill set. I study this. I've done the work. Mind you, I worked for the city of Dayton for 7 to 8 years. I worked for the federal government, so I know the inner workings of government. And I live in this community. I don't live in an ivory tower. I'm not exempt from the blight, from the trash, but that's why it's important that we vote for individuals who care and want to do the work, who have a proven track record, who has done the work. And I want the best for not only my kids, but I want the best for you ladies. I want you to go off to college, travel the world, and be able to come back to Dayton and not begrudgingly, like, oh, I gotta go back to the city, oh, I'm gonna go back there. But come back and know that there are opportunities for me in the city of Dayton, and I can grow, I can thrive. I'm not just surviving, but I can have everything that I want to have in the bigger cities, but right where it's affordable, where it is, and it's not traffic that I'm fighting with. I can get any and everywhere that I need to go in less than 10-15 minutes. And again, Dayton is very relational, but it takes us to have intentional leadership for us to move the needle and really start addressing the social ills in our community. And when I talk about social ills in our community, I'm speaking about our unhoused population. We have a growing homeless population. I'm talking about the blighted structures, the bandos, right? We didn't have that growing up, and you all shouldn't have that experience. and really making sure that we're addressing the fact that we don't have healthcare access in our community, traffic, transportation barriers, all these various different things. You need individuals who have the willingness and the desire to work with any and everyone, to have that listening ear, right? To be able to receive constructive feedback so that we can get better, so that Dayton can fly, so that we can grow, and being willing to, again, to listen. So.
Okay, so you touched on the topic a little bit. I just wanted to kind of, go further. So as a youth, my mom, because me and my mom, we always have our little sit-down talks and stuff.
Oh, that's wonderful. I can tell.
Yes. We always have our little sit-down talks, and one of the main things that she talks about is how much different Dayton is.
Yeah.
And she always talks about, like all the memories that she had around Dayton and all this other stuff. And I just be kind of looking at her like, girl, where that at? Because I just don't see the same thing. And I am a big mental health advocate, so if you know me, you know, that's always my number one topic and my favorite thing to talk about. So I think that one of the main factors as to what triggers mental health is not, leaving the house. So I feel like our youth, we're often homebodies, and we often stay in the house and stuff, but I don't think it's because...
don't want to.
I don't want to go out. I think
but
it's
you don't
just
have
because
nowhere to go.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes. That, and also just the safety issues
Exactly.
going around in Dayton. So, as mayor, what are you going to do to kind of touch those topics and just increase our youth place in the community as far as where to go for teenagers and stuff to do stuff, just so we can we can all have outlets, because I just know me and my friends, we don't we hang out at each other's houses, and it's why do that when we can go have fun? But it's that place is expensive. They be fighting up there. It gets boring after a while, because like you said, if you stay in the same spot, for a very long time, then you start to get stale. You start to get bored. And I know that we have Scene 75. Don't nobody feel like going to Scene 75 every Saturday.
Boring.
After
It's boring.
Nobody wants to travel 20 hours to go all the way.
Exactly. Right. I don't know. At first, when I was first entering high school, then I know Scene 75 was that place. You hear me? That was our spot. Hey, we going to Scene 75? But now they be let's go to Scene 75. I'm oh, we gotta go here again. I'm so
there's
tired.
Nothing new in Scene 75.
There's nothing new.
Okay.
So, as a mayor, what are you going to do to put those gyms back into the city as far as...
All right, Gym City.
Question.
Okay.
What are we going to do to put those gyms back into the city as far as youth engagement in our community? Because it doesn't always have to be a hangout spot, but just things to do, and that keep our youth interested. Because I know we do stuff like this. We go out into the community and we give food to people on Thanksgiving, or we go out and we did that thing for at the Ronald McDonald House. That was my favorite. I will always remember that. I love that. But just doing these different things, but none of the youth is interested. And I feel like that, and transportation, and then just our radar as to opportunities. So how are you going to increase that?
Great question. First and foremost, I would tell you the first thing I'm going to do is have a coalition of youth, of individuals, of teenagers, so that we can, again, listen, want to hear what it is that you all want in your communities, and how do we make that happen. Right. I have some ideas, but again, I don't have all the ideas. Right. That will be the first step that I will make. One of the other things that I would like to do is, I don't know if your mom shared this with you, but there used to be a Baumberger Teen Center right across the street from Stivers. And so my brother is, from Stivers. Yes, right across the street from Stivers. And many of our high schoolers, they will go to the teen center and they will hang out. They will play basketball. They will play chess. They were a part of all kind of different programs that was housed right there. And it didn't matter if you went to Stivers.
Right.
Any student could attend or to patronize the center itself. And so we need to get back there. We do have the Northwest Recreation Center, which is Princeton. We know it as Princeton, right? So that facility has a teen center. There are a number of gaming systems in that facility. So we need to expand that. Of course, you know, the work and the opportunities in the library. We also have the Mayoral Recreation Center. And so many of our Belmont students, they frequent that recreation center. But again, just hearing the opportunities, I'll tell you one of the dopest ideas that we had. And I have to give a shout out to Carlos Buford in the work that he's doing in his coalition. So they did an assessment and they traveled. I'm not for certain where exactly they traveled, but they were coming up with an ideal of a skate park. And I don't know if you all know of the skate park that is kind of like man-made, but it's very innovative, right? And that's what Dayton is all about, innovation. And so expanding those opportunities, what if, right? Now, don't hold me to this because we still have to have conversation, and this is Metro Parks. But how dope it would be if we were to turn Riverscape into a roller rink. In the summer months.
That would be fun.
Come out, you know, rent some skates. If you don't have your skates, you know, you can rent some skates for $2-3. Have some refreshments, hang out for a couple hours. Just exposing our youth to different things. That's what I used to do every Sunday at Hoover. I would go up to the Hoover skating rink. The other thing is having a green space downtown. I traveled to Indianapolis, Indiana, and of course, you know, they have professional teams. So they actually have a basketball court downtown, right? Exposing and having all these various different things, a green space downtown, or again, making sure that not just downtown that there's opportunities, but opportunities within
all around Dayton.
All around Dayton, all in our communities, so people have somewhere to go. So our youth have various different things that they can engage in, because they just don't want to work and go to school. But what are some extracurricular things that they can do? We used to hang out at the mall, right? What are some other things that you all may have an interest in doing? It may be, you know, a hair braiding, or, you know, esthetician class, or something that piques you all's interest to where you want to be engaged.
And then can I just circle back around?
The stuff that you're talking about is literally the stuff me and her was just talking at work on Monday.
Okay,
like,
and
literally.
And this is not scripted. So these questions, I did not get them in advance. This is a fluid conversation, very organic conversation. But I want to do that work, and those are the things that, you know, we can do together collectively, because you all are not just our future, you're our present, and you have a voice, and you're a part of this community. So I really do appreciate the opportunity. I hope that we can find some ways that we can work together, and when I do become mayor, you all are going to work with me, right?
Turn us up. Turn us up.
Make sure I got this right. Now we're going to clock that, right?
Yes, clock it. Okay, guys, so unfortunately we do have to wrap this conversation up. It is getting about that time. But can we just say thank you to our special guests? Like,
Thank you. This was great. This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yes, guys. And also, do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment who y'all want to see next. Like, let us know, you know, what else you want to see on our YLAG podcast. And that's that, guys. Bye.
Check us out, SheniseForDayton.com. Check out all our socials.
Yes, y'all go check her out.
Volunteer vibes, energy unmatched, building our empire, every goal attached. Young ladies aspire.